Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Her Sweet Spot Lunch and Learn. We are here talking about money, power money moves, right? We have a special guest for you today. It's going to teach us all about the money moves we need to have and know about. Monique Russell, as you can see on the screen, better known as Mo, has a master's in social work, is a full time pediatric registered nurse, and is fully licensed as a financial advisor. Her mission is to help families learn how money works, create income so that they could live a full life with dignity while creating generational wealth. Welcome to the broadcast. Mo, thank you for coming to teach us here inside Her Sweet Spot all about the power money moves we need to know and have.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. And what I would always like to say is if you have a notebook or something to take notes, please, use that because the things I'm going to be going over today, I would hope that you would actually run with it immediately. So thank you so much, Marsha, for inviting me onto this live stream today. And I was a social worker. I'm a registered nurse, right? Helping people is kind of just like in my DNA, right? But here's the interesting thing. Money, right, is also an important thing to not only help yourself, your family and your friends, but also create an amazing future. And I think it's a missing piece in our society. So Marsha, feel free to interrupt or ask questions, anything that you want, because hopefully, people might be chatting and asking questions as we move along. So
Absolutely.
Yep. So boss money moves, right? So first off, you're going to see that I'm extremely excited about what I do because if I had learned this earlier, trust me, my life would be different. So the first thing I want you to know is that you can get out of debt, you can build savings, and you can have financial independence. Unfortunately, we wait for every moment to start. I have clients and I'll sit with them and they're like, I want to buy a house, but when I make enough, then I'll start saving. Guys, you can literally take $10 and put it in a box or in an account and start. Don't wait. Start, start, start. I even made a joke to someone yesterday and I was like, look, you have a penny, find a penny in your house, put it in a bucket, and you completely start it. Okay. All right. So the next thing we want to go over is about taking control. So what are some things that you don't have control over? You do not have control over Social Security, your employer, taxes, inflation, or rising costs. No one ever gets to the gas station and go, you know what? Today I just changed my mind. I'm not going to get gas. Right? You are going to pump the gas no matter what. So that means if your income doesn't keep going up, inflation, don't worry, inflation will catch up to you, right? But what can you take control of? Saving for your retirement account. So again, I really believe it's another area that we as people who are professional workers, we kind of just go, oh, I'm good. I have those things set up. Number one, do you know that you'll have a retirement account for the next 30 to 40 years of your life and the advisor who manages your account will never call you? Number two, the bank that you bank with, the bank that actually manages all your money. If you had an important question, can you call them? Can you reach out to them? Will you get the same person consistently who knows you? Are they ever encouraging you to cheerlead for you to pay off your mortgage or pay off your credit card? So think about it. We get involved in the financial game. We're working, we're professionals, and we actually don't have any friends or partners or coaches that are really there for us who are licensed. Operative word, licensed, right? To actually navigate and help you reach your goals. So look at the other things, right? You want to reduce your taxes. Anybody want to pay more in taxes? That question I asked, no one ever says yes, Monique. I would love to pay more. So there's some things that I'm going to be going over with you today, and I hope you're taking notes that will definitely help you save more, reduce your taxes, and also diversify the options that you have. And Marsha, please feel free to give me a countdown on our time because I want to make sure that we're responsible with time, right? So here's one thing that we actually talk about: pay yourself first. It's a theory that we all understand, but no one does it. Do you know when we pay ourselves? After we pay our bills. So you get a check, that money goes into your account, and a lot of us have auto bills, right? Your car insurance comes out, maybe your mortgage comes out, your credit card payments come out. Do you ever take a moment, the moment that you get paid, and pay yourself first? Think about it. You just worked 40 hours for the last week, right? And you just got paid 2 weeks. Everyone else got paid. Geico loves you. Your car insurance, your home insurance loves you. Your medical bill loves you. What about you? Did you actually pay yourself? Right? Adjusting priorities is something that I definitely talk to my clients about. Look, I love that you drive the newest car, but again, did you put 50 bucks away for yourself in your emergency account? Here's a rule of thumb. If you are married with children and you do not have $10,000 liquid that's just sitting in an account, we need to talk. If you are married with children and you do not have 10,000 sitting liquid in an account that you do not use, it's literally just sitting there and available, we need to talk. One, it gives you peace of mind. It allows you to breathe, and it also protects the most important things in your life, which is your partner and your children, right? So there might be some adjustments that you need to make, but I'm telling you, it's not going to hurt you as much as you think it is. It's adjustments. And last but not least, earning additional income, unfortunately, is the reason why most of us are stuck, right? Our lifestyle that we request, our income sometimes doesn't match it, right? You also want to make sure that you're avoiding the credit trap and having a plan. Look, to this day, card companies mail us 3 to 4 times a month. Okay. If you go to a store, they're still pumping at you, right? So I want you to think about this. Google your bank. I want you to pull up what is the rate of return that your money gives you on a savings account, because remember, checking accounts don't yield any money. So that means if your money is sitting in a checking account, the bank is earning all the interest. Now, if you have a savings account, you probably might drop a tier because you'll notice that you're earning less than 1% of your money, right? So now you know that your savings account is not going to be the also other place for you to grow wealth. So what are the 3 accounts that you need, especially when I'm working with you? And just to let you know, no one should be charged to work with someone to get this great advice. If you have a question, please feel free to reach out to me. Everything is complimentary and free. Yes, everything is complimentary. The world should get this for free. All the information that you need, right? You should have an emergency fund, short-term fund, and long-term fund, right? And everybody goes, but Monique, how much should I put in each bucket? Well, you're an individual. It depends on based on you and your life and when we talk. But let's just do some rule of thumbs. Your emergency account needs to be beefy. And I know I keep emphasizing this, right? Married with children or with children, that emergency account might not be where you want it to be, but we got to make an effort to pump into that account every month, whether it's 10 bucks, 20 bucks, or 50 bucks a month. But our goal is as soon as we can to get you to a nice number, which is 10,000 is my starting number. How many of us have uh-ohs in life? Uh-oh, someone passed away, you might have to take a quick trip to go somewhere. Uh-oh, you're stressed at work, you need an emergency vacation. Uh-oh, you need to buy new tires for your car, right? So something that is kind of not foreseen, but we all know an uh-oh is coming up. So there's accounts that I actually educate my clients on have an intermediate account. So it's actually called intermediate or municipal bond. We can still earn some interest and have some liquidity. So if you want to learn more about that, feel free to ask me. Again, there's no charge. You can never pay me for my services, okay? And long-term account. Long-term account is now for your nest egg. Now, again, think about it. You work hard. You went to school. You work at your job. Unfortunately, most people that I meet, one, they don't know the name of the person or the company who's managing their account. Two, you haven't looked at it. And I'm talking about myself, right? Same thing. Didn't look at it and don't know what the potential growth is going to be. So think about it. If you're in the race to have an amazing financial future, wouldn't it be a good idea to look at where you are and to actually see if you're on track? So that's one of the things that I do also free for my clients. I'll show you exactly where you are. Now, believe it or not, we all want a great quality of life. And for almost every person that I meet, they want about $5,000 to $8,000 coming in a month. Do you know in 5 minutes I can show you if you're on track? And when most people see their actual numbers, they're like, whoa, it actually ends up becoming delusional thinking. We don't want to be delusional in our life. We don't want to just hope or wish or have to work until we're 70, right? So please let me take that stress off of you and show you some ways to really take care of the plan that you're currently in. And then there's other options that we definitely have available. You might have heard of things called like a Roth IRA, what, right? One of the best accounts that we can definitely utilize in our time, right? So what prevails in our world? There is nothing that you gain from doing something instantaneously. right? You can't go to the gym and go, yay, I worked out, I'm good for the next 10 years, right? So again, you took time. You took time to maybe save for your first home, buy a car, work out, be healthy. Please just use the same tips that you do for that, for also growing wealth. Time and consistency is really important. So let's look at this. If your goal was to save $500,000 in retirement, as you can see, if you started at age 55, you would need to save $1,926 a month. So do you see what happens when you start at age 25? $89 a month. So time is important. So here's the thing. If you're older and you're closer to the 50, 55 mark, have no fear. A lot of the times the clients that I'm meeting who are really serious about creating wealth for their family, they start around 44, 45, and it's not over. There's still so much time on the clock. But again, if you have young kids, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, do you understand that their number could even be lower? How many of you would like to have self-made millionaires in your family and they're only 17? Right? How many of you have people who are married getting started? You know, we give gifts to people when they get married, a toaster, a blender, and all these odd tools for the kitchen or bedroom sets, right? What about introducing them to the power of saving money that they can have their home paid off in the next 10 years? I think they will remember you and love you a lot more than the toaster that's not going to last, right? So debt. Debt is another thing that is, you know, I would call it like the bag that we drag around, the weight that we feel. And sometimes we want to expedite paying off our debt so fast that we forget about the now. So rule of thumb, Monique, I'm going to start saving when I pay off my debt. Monique, I'm going to expedite paying off my car. Then I'm going to save for my debt, then I'm going to save for the future. No. So there's a client that I'm working with right now. Her car payments are $400 each because they have two cars. She was paying an extra $400 each on both cars. Now, what's the first question do you think I asked her? Hey, congratulations. I love that you're overpaying on your car notes. You're going to be done soon. The first question I asked her was, how much is in your emergency account? And I don't know if you're able to chat, but how much do you think was in her emergency account? This is someone with two children, right? Middle income earner, paying over $800 extra on her car note every single month. Unfortunately, the person that I was speaking with had $2,500 in an emergency account. So this is where we kind of go on the importance of debt. Look, debt is important. You don't want the interest to occur, but guess who we're also hurting simultaneously when she didn't pay herself first? Ultimately, her. So when she saw that, she was like, I mean, that makes so much sense. So what I always want to do is I want it to be super easy, digestible, right? That when you are learning the tips and things that I'm teaching you, that you're like, I know it fundamentally, but hearing you say it about me specifically, light bulb, right? Look, we all want to be taken care of. We have a flashing sign on our chest that says, take care of me, right? And there's nothing like, as opposed to having generic plans, but someone that's designed a plan designed for you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually, she's going to still pay $200 a month extra to her car. But guess what? We just freed up an extra $600 that's going to emergency, short term, and long term, right? Now, you might not be in the situation that she's in. Maybe you can only save $100 a month, but we can still show you strategies the exact same way helping her. All right. So unfortunately, guys, as Marsha did say, I'm a social worker and I'm a registered nurse. Okay. Life insurance is also a strategy in preparation for your future. Now, why is it part of the strategy? Because if you have a mortgage, people that you care about, a spouse and children and debt, and your income is no longer here, do they still have to survive and carry on a life without you? So life insurance actual terminology is called income replacement. It's replacing the missing income with the unfortunateness if you pass away early. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm home. Marsha's home. COVID is still real. Okay. So you really want to still be responsible. I know, Monique, I got group insurance. Group insurance, unfortunately, again, is owned by the company, and it's sometimes limited to what their rules are. So has anybody been laid off or had to be out of work for a period of time? Right? Do you know that it could actually suspend, pause, or terminate that plan with your job? Anybody have plans that are free at work or really cheap? I have a woman right now. She has $75,000 for $1 a month. Whoa, hello. But guess what? She doesn't own it. And if she happens to leave the job, guess where that plan goes with? It stays with the company. So of all the things that you take care of, we have car insurance, we have homeowners insurance, we have cell phone insurance, okay? You have disability, you have accidental. Do you realize that the most important one is protecting your assets? That God forbid if something happened to you, the life that you created can continue, and especially for people who are married. Typically, those who are in the upper part of the United States, it takes 2 incomes to survive here, right? So can you imagine your partner, something happens to your partner and it deducts a $4,000 income for you every single year, every single month, right? So here's a quick analysis on Monique. Maybe I don't have enough, I'm not sure. Let's say that the average worker makes $50,000 a year. Okay. Do you realize that in 20 years' time, that's $1 million paid out to their family? Just like that. Just like that, right? So anything less than $1 million is really putting yourself and your family in a little bit of a disarray. So again, we want to reallocate what you're doing and just make sure that it's working specifically for you and your family. Most of the times when I meet people, they have everything set up. They have a savings plan, they have a retirement plan, they have life insurance. They're doing the best that they can. But what if we were able just to maneuver the dial just a little bit, and it has you have exponential, right? Don't got to be a proper public speaker to do this, right? But you would have tremendous success on top of what you're currently doing. The unfortunate thing is when I do sit down with a lot of families, they do think they're doing the best, but when I show them just a little bit of things that we can add to their current plan, we're able to now give them some peace of mind. Who likes peace of mind? Let me tell you, every time I sit down with a family, they absolutely are so happy because they really want actual cash on hand for an emergency. Nobody ever wants to pull out a credit card for an emergency. And unfortunately, a lot of us have to do that, right? So again, the theory decreasing responsibilities, you only need to protect what needs protecting for a period of time. And as life progresses, you don't need it. Now, let's just say that you were driving a Maserati or a BMW, right, as a car. Do you think you should be spending the same amount of money for a Honda Accord? Not to be rude, but if you're comparing it to insurance, right? No. So we all know that sports cars are more expensive to insure, right? Same thing. If your children are grown and your debt is paid off and your mortgage is paid off, right? Your need to protect those assets have decreased. What's the only thing that mom and dad want in the future? Money. Right? So that goes to my next thing. You know, a lot of people's, this is just some data on just making sure that you really look into your life insurance plan. But one of the things that people ask me a lot of times is, Monique, I don't want to run out of money. I don't want to run out of money for the future. So sometimes people say, Monique, I'm going to work forever. Or Monique, I don't want to run out, right? So this is why it's so important to make sure that the plans that you're on, you're not overspending on what you need, because guess what we're all not doing? We are not matching our contributions with our 401k plan. We are not fully funding our IRAs, right? We're not stacking enough in emergency saving. But guess who all got paid? Our life insurance companies, our car insurance companies, our mortgages, all these other companies got paid. But I dare you to go to any of them for an emergency. Marsha, when was the last time that you knocked on your house so that they can help you with a bill this month?
What was that question?
When was the last time that you knocked on your house and you asked them to help you pay like a credit card bill, or you wanted to go on vacation and you knocked on your house for some cash?
Not in a while.
Have you ever heard someone going to their car and going, hey, I know I paid you off, but can I borrow some money back from you? Like, can I have some back? Right? So I say that to all the viewers that, you know, you really want to be responsible with the type of life insurance that you have. As you can see, you know, life insurance is not an investment, right? It's an opportunity and a vehicle to protect what's missing. But there's so many other strategies that you can use as opposed to investing in a life insurance plan, right? Who likes to talk about taxes? Yeah, right? So taxes, you know, taxes is something that a lot of people really look. I say this with the kindest heart. We pay taxes on everything, but you only talk to your tax advisor once a year. That is not good, right? Think about that. Isn't it important to actually talk up to your tax advisor at least 4 times a year, right? So one of the things that I do share, and just read as I'm going along, is tax-free accounts, right? So one of the things that you really want to do is you need to know the tax bracket that you're in. So when you're at your job and you have a 401k plan, why is it so important to make contributions to your 401k plan? And feel free if you want to add these things to the chat, right? Why? It's tax deferred money and it lowers your taxable income. If you have any questions about that, just jot that down. I can answer for those individually, right? But let's say that you're making $50,000 a year, okay? And you're contributing to your 401k plan. Do you know that you really didn't take home 50,000 for the year? You actually took home maybe 45 because part of that money went directly to your 401k plan. Now, remember, the government doesn't forget. So tax deferred does mean taxes later. So here's the other thing. You're going to have to pay taxes on that later. But the benefit that you're getting in the front is that you're lowering your taxable hit as the years go by. So Monique, if that's so wonderful, why would I ever even consider opening other accounts? Wait, there's more, right? So there are traditional IRAs, and Roth IRAs, right? So a traditional IRA is just money from a 401k plan that you possibly rolled over into a private IRA account. These are still going to be taxed, okay? So again, it lowers your taxable income and it's going to be taxed later in life. So let's say that you have a nest egg, right? So Marsha, let's say that you have $1 million in your 401k plan at work. Yay! You're taxed at the end. So if Marsha's tax bracket is 20, 23, 24%, before she touches that money, boom, that's off the top. So that million just dropped to a nice, what, 800,000, okay? Now let's look at a Roth IRA and why a Roth IRA is so important and powerful. It's all tax-free. Write that down, everyone, tax-free. Why is that so important? It grows tax-free and it's withdrawn tax-free. So now you have two amazing buckets. But Monique, why would I have two? Remember, a lot of companies, well, I'll say not a lot, some companies today still match their contributions. So what's good for free? Is free good? Free money is the best. So if your company has a matching contributions to their 401k plan, rule of thumb, match the match. It's so important to match the match. Why is that so important? It's free money. And anything over that match, you want to now put into your Roth IRA. So I had a client 2 days ago, and they were matching up to 6% of their account. Guess what? The company only matched at 3%. Rule of thumb, right? You want to then take the difference and put that into your Roth IRA. Now, why? Why, again, is the Roth IRA so powerful? And trust me, you have to reach out to me. There's limitations on who can actually make contributions to that based on your income. But all that money is yours. So all that money is yours. So when it's time to retire and you actually are taking money out of your 401k, that's going to be immediately taxed. When you touch your Roth IRA, guess what that is? Tax-free money. So can you see how both buckets are so good? The tips and strategies that I just went over with you about understanding the difference between those things, I wish I knew that sooner. Okay, it took me a long time to really understand the benefit, and it's so simple to learn that I really want to make sure that people take advantage of that. So here's an example, and it might not be as clear as you want, but let's just say that someone started saving at 22 years old. Okay, 22 years old, they started saving $5,000, and the contributions have gone up. If you're under the age of 50, you can actually save $6,000 a year now. Whoop, whoop. Rule of thumb. Why would the government keep allowing us to make more contributions? Because we're unprepared for retirement. Okay. So now let's look at this. At age 22 to 29, which is only about 8 years, you saved $5,000. Do you realize by age 30, that's $66,000 saved? If you never added a dime to that account again, that's 1.8 million saved. Are you happy? Marsha, are you happy? I'm getting a nod, yes, right? So now let's flash over to what if you started later in life? And typically it is. Most of us really take the financial game seriously later, right? Oh, I got the job I want. I'm making money now. I can actually think about this. Let's say that you started at age 30. Do you realize that you would have to make contributions from 30 to 67 to still get just a little bit of the retirement that you could have done in 8 years? There is power with time and consistency. Now, again, the only thing that can make this a difference, adding more money to the bucket. But if this was your kids, your family, or your parents, and you had the opportunity, which side would you choose? Would you choose A or would you choose B? So this is why one of the things that I do with families when you work with me, we actually have conversations with the people that you love the most. We'll actually do a Zoom call and we'll sit down and we'll teach everyone why. There may be 1 or 2 people in your group who are now going to completely change the name and the game of your family, meaning that the name of your family is really important, right? I call it the name on the back of your jersey. We need more millionaires in families. And what would it be like if they're just doing simple strategies that no matter what, it was bulletproof, okay? And that's some of the stuff that I teach and share. Now, another tip about the bank. So I did tell you, your rate of return at the banks are typically low. So, you have to be responsible. If you are putting up $10,000 away in an account, and let's say you're getting a 4% rate of return, you also have to get taxes take out of that. So if you would like a stronger kind of account that would give you better rate of return, and you would have the opportunity to liquidate it, please feel free to reach out to me. I can teach you more about municipal bonds and intermediate accounts. All right. So here's a little theory about where we are in our society, right? Social Security, company pensions, and personal savings. So company pensions are disappearing. If you find a friend who has a pension, they probably work from some government entity, right? Social Security, I tell all my clients, let's log on online. Let's look up what your potential opportunities to have in Social Security. So please do not bank on Social Security, okay? Personal savings. Isn't it wonderful that our generation really hasn't taught us the strategies on personal savings, but we can't count on Social Security and pensions are disappearing. So that means you and me, who has no knowledge base on actually properly saving and investing and taking care of our financial wealth, you're telling us to take care of it. That's not fair. And that's why I work here. And this is why I got real interested in this, because I realized to the left of me and to the right of me, none of us know this information. So what we call, it's called the broken stool theory right now. And we really need to help people do better. So one of the things I teach, and I teach this individually, I will teach you how the market works for 100 years. And some people are nervous. Some people go, Monique, I just want to be so conservative. I just want to be safe, right? Look, the S&P 500, which are the top circulating companies in the United States, has been yielding a 10% rate of return, right? That's from 1981 to 2011, okay? And the chart that I have when I'm teaching you will actually go all the way up into 2019. And it's still been yielding a 9.9% rate of return. Why is it so important? The more information that you understand that the investment world is not a gamble, the more that you can take advantage of it and then become a business owner or investor, which is maybe in properties and other businesses, right? And then maybe you won't be so dependent on your job, right? Who wants to fire their job, right? And everything is designed just to help you reach your goals. All right. So again, what we want to do is really just teach you how to actually put your money into the global economy. You might have heard of this before. It's called a mutual fund. But Monique, my 401k, I look at it, I think it's doing great. Remember, your job's company's portfolio does not take advantage of everything that's happening in the S&P 500. So again, diversification is take advantage of your 401k plan and also take advantage of a Roth IRA, which is powerful. I dare you, go Google, right? And you also want to bypass the middleman. So here are some concepts that I teach everyone, especially about understanding and being real savvy with your words, right? Dollar cost averaging, discipline, and diversification. So diversification, let's start with that. You need a spread. I know some people come to me, Monique, I just want to buy Tesla. I just want to buy Apple. Congratulations, go do it. But could we also diversify your portfolio? Can we give you some Colgate? Right? Can we give you some Scott toilet paper, right? You want different companies in your plan, right? Discipline. Discipline is consistency. So here's what I also do, a rule of thumb. I want my clients to make sure that they're saving in an emergency account and saving in their long-term accounts. Why? Because then they won't break the habit. How many of us have started saving then stopped? Start, stop, start, stops. I need to dip into it. I need to borrow against it. That's why we make sure that we teach you the importance of saving in both buckets so that if anything came up, you're not borrowing against your future, right? No more borrowing against your future to do your kitchen over or to pay your debt off. I had a client call me, I want to pay off my taxes. I'm going to pull out of my 401k plan. No, that's not what that account was designed for. And the unfortunate thing was it's only because other accounts were not set up. So we always want to bulletproof everyone against themselves, right? Because again, if you need to buy a new washer and dryer set, right? Would you like to use your own money or would you like to borrow against your own account and get a tax hit? No tax hits. And dollar cost averaging, right? These are the 3 Ds of investing. Dollar cost averaging is putting in the consistent amount of money over a long period of time and letting it do its job. So I know all of you obviously know the housing market goes up and down, right? Ooh, you bought your house at 250, but now it's worth 350, right? But then tomorrow the housing market could drop and your house is worth back to 200,000, right? You're not going to not pay your mortgage, right? You're going to keep paying your mortgage. So dollar cost averaging is just fluctuations with the market, but you keep putting in the same amount every single time. I hope that gives a good example of that, right? So this is just another example again about a fluctuating market and a rising market. I know all of you are like, Monique, I want the best investment portfolio. I just want it to grow, 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 grow. Here's another rule of thumb. You want a fluctuating market because then you're getting things on sale. So I make the joke all the time that when people go to the stores, how many of us see people online digging through their purse still for that coupon? Or asking the register person, are there any sales that you can add on to my purchase right now? Right, because you want the great item, right? You want your expensive designer clothes, but you still want it at a discount rate. It's the same thing with the market. So when the market is doing well, your money goes up. But when the market is down, your buying power is strong. Who likes strong buying power? Here's the power of strong buying power. Let's say the market dipped and the houses were all cheap and your neighbor's house was on sale to buy. Wouldn't you buy it? Of course you would buy it. Would you wait and go, no, I'm going to wait till the market goes all the way up and then I'm going to purchase my neighbor's house? Right? Why? Because you're investing and you know the market's going to go back up and you can sell it at a profit. Woohoo! Okay. So this is just to wrap up and end that you can always do anything that you need, especially with your finances. I like to show you that when anybody works with me, you actually get this little house and it's a guide for you to actually keep on track of all the goals that you're doing, because the more that you see it, the more that you talk about it, the more that you focus on it, the more that it's going to come to fruition, right? So what was that I just showed you? Goals and dreams. The most amazing thing that happens with my clients is that the moment that we organize everything, organization doesn't mean we solved anything or we're on track. It just means organized, right? People start thinking about their goals and dreams. It's the sweetest thing when I hear people go, God, Monique, if I could have a condo in Florida one day, or my husband and I would love to have a boat one day and go in the water. If we could really help our grandkids save for their future and they're not in existence yet, right? People have things that they want, but they don't allow themselves to even think about it because they don't know the how, right? So when you have strategies in place, you can have the how set up. So college savings, retirement, debt elimination, budget, will, and an emergency account. And again, it doesn't matter how little you have or how much you have. And you've seen this on the news with celebrities. With no instructions, you leave the people who you left all your assets to in chaos. So if that's something that you also want to discuss with me, I have some strategies to help you with that too. And protecting your income. So how we do that is we simply make a financial needs analysis and it actually organizes everything for you and it's free. Okay? And it's free, right? So you get to organize everything and show you where you are. There was a gentleman that I met and he was like, oh, I want to have $1 million saved by the time I'm this age. I think it was like 45. When I did his analysis, guess what it told me? He needed to save like $10,000 a month to get that done. The look on his face was shock, right? Because there's an idea of what we want, and then you have to still look at where you really are. Here's the good thing. He started taking steps that I recommended to help him get on track because now he saw it in black and white, right? There's nothing like seeing your numbers. And I tell everybody, print out my paperwork that I send you, put it under your pillow at night, look at it with you and your partner, and really, because guess what starts happening? The human mind likes to run for something. The human mind is one that likes challenges. It likes to create and it likes to run for something. So when now you have your stuff and your goals written out, right, that I type up for you, and you see something that you can chase for, do you know what happens? Your mind starts cultivating ways how we can do that. Maybe you're a great baker and you've been holding back on using those skills. And maybe if you sell one cake a month, that's an extra $1,000 saved. Maybe you want to do something part time and you're looking for an opportunity, right? Maybe you want to change gears like I did, right? I'm a registered nurse, but now I do this. You can ask me about that too. Maybe you realize you want to downsize your home because you don't need all that space and that money can go towards saving for your future to get you closer. You understand? But you need to see it in writing first, and then your mind will start helping you cultivate ideas to help you get there, right? Maybe you won't buy the new range, right? Maybe you don't need to upgrade the new car and you can add more money to your emergency and savings account, right? So, that is actually me wrapping up. Marsha, I don't know if you have any questions for me or anything that maybe somebody asked in the chat, but that is pretty much just a layout on like what we do, who we are, and what we really want to teach people on the importance of put you first.
Thank you so much, Monique. That was all great information to helping people put themselves first. We have no live questions on the chat, but if you guys are here on the replay inside Her Sweet Spot and you have questions, please message me inside Her Sweet Spot chat, and I will get the message to Monique, and she will be back teaching us all about and answering your questions about making those money power moves. Monique, thank you so much again for being our guest. And we will see you inside Her Sweet Spot. Don't forget, guys, the app is now available for both iOS and Android users. You can catch the replay if you are a growth member here inside Her Sweet Spot. And we look forward to bringing you another awesome workshop next week. Until next time, you guys know how I like to end each broadcast. When we empower each other, we all rise. Bye for now.